Hi everyone, Silvia here, your inclusive leadership mentor. Welcome to this week's Lead Nudge. And this week I want to tell you about a moment that changed the way that I lead. Years ago, I was preparing for a big presentation. And this was the type of presentation that was gonna get us in the team a yes or no for this experiment. And I wanted every slide, every transition to be flawless. I even had a script, I prepared, I had my notes, and I barely slept the night before because I was making sure that everything was just top notch. Then the day of the presentation happened. My manager was actually part of the audience, and I asked for feedback on how the presentation went. And the feedback was good. People were happy, they got the message. But what they remember most, including my manager, was not the presentation, the slides, or how flawless the transitions happened. It was the answers that I gave when this spontaneous moment happened in which questions were happening in the middle of the presentation. I didn't plan for this, of course, and this was a moment of vulnerability that it was not planned. But I went with it. I knew my topic and I answered what I needed to answer with no slides. I even didn't have some data. I went with it. And what got me is that what was more memorable about this workshop, this presentation, was not the slides, was not how perfect everything was, how crafted, how polished. It was about the spontaneous moments, these spontaneous questions that I was able to answer. And this is when it hit me that perfection was not the point. Getting things done was. And in that story, the point was I got it done. I presented and I shared what needed to be shared. What I have seen is that many of us, we get into a leadership position because we might be promoted because of our previous achievements. I am pretty sure you have seen this type of career progressions. And what that means is that we build our careers into getting things right? Into achieving things, into getting things right. But the same type of drive and the same type of behavior, if it's left unchecked, then it can lead into perfectionism. And perfectionism, when it comes to leadership, it becomes a bottleneck because it makes us as leaders get into this behavior or being the ones delaying decisions because we need to have all the information. We double check everything, we delegate, but then we're the ones given the last review. Believe me, it has been me. We give the okay for a strategy to move forward. I'm in marketing, so I have done this. I have given the okay for marketing campaigns to move forward, but then just before they need to go live, then we review them. So the unspoken message here for our teams is that making mistakes is not safe. There's actually a study. It's a couple years old, so from 2016, that found that perfectionism is strongly linked to burnout and it decreases team performance. This is a study from the Psychological Bulletin. And why this happens is because it creates a culture when people strive to avoid failure because they need to move forward, right? So here is what we can do this week, or what I would like us to do this week. Let's choose progress over perfection. Between you and me, this video is for me choosing that. Not doing it perfectly, just recording it once and going with it. So for this week, I would like you to try something, and before delaying your next project, ask yourself if this is truly not ready. Is this truly not ready, or am I just being perfectionist, or is this just not perfect? And if it's about not being comfortable with how imperfect things are, I would challenge you to go with it. Launch it, take a deep breath, and hit send. Launch it, decide. Just move. Because that movement, that action is what will make progress. Done is better than perfect. And progress is about, just taking one small step forward, not about making the entire path visible for us. Lead as you are, with courage, inclusion, and heart, you will